Welcome to the Full Cast After Dark.
Nailed it.
I am Spencer Hall, and joining me as always is my co-host, Jason Kirk. Say hello, Jason Kirk.
I'll say much more than hello. I will say Zarek Cooper of your Jacksonville State Gamecocks has just thrown a 59-yard touchdown at the buzzer to put away the Florida State Seminoles, 20-17.
Wait. Do we want to shut this down immediately and just go listen to Cover 3?
Wait.
Can we just get Bud on here? Bud,
Get in. Bud, jump on in here. Come on. That is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal work, y'all. I am so impressed with Jacksonville State.
As a lifelong Jacksonville State fan.
Hey, Jacksonville State, I've been fond of Jacksonville State ever since they knocked off Houston Nutt era Ole Miss, if you'll remember.
Who was the quarterback for that game?
Was it Ryan Perilou?
I honestly can't remember if it was Ryan Perilou or Jeremiah Masoli.
Okay.
This is capping a day of football that was way better than it had any right to be.
Alex McDaniel is listening, and she's going to know, and she's going to be furious that we can't get this right.
It's like her avatar is very smiley, and I love that because I know there's menace behind it. Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Well, you are listening to the Full Cast After Dark. I have introduced the two hosts, our permanent guests, as always, joining me in alphabetical order, Holly Anderson.
We're not guests anymore.
Host, Holly Anderson.
Thank you.
And Ryan Nanny. Hello, Ryan.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
I'm great. I like that we logged on for the first.
I'm sorry. I just got a pop up on my computer that says set up professional audio in audio settings. Sure.
No.
Sure.
I like that we immediately logged on and we're like, Ryan, what do you want to talk about? And he goes, Arizona's losing 35-7 at the half.
It's a thing.
Our priorities are already locked in.
So Florida State has now lost 2 home games in emotional fashion.
I'm sorry. According to Twitter user Deep South Z, JSU just planted their flag on the Seminole.
What?
You got an FCS team doing that to you?
Fuck.
God. Broke Campbell Stadium.
And they're not even your own Jacksonville.
Mike Norvell is going to go into the post-game presser and talk about how hard they worked on this team, and then his players are going to come out afterwards and say, no, we haven't seen him all week.
I just want to say this is a great day for the University of Miami because between Stadium Cat, which we're going to get to, and beating App State, doesn't matter exactly what happened there or how or why. And then this, what a day to be a Miami Hurricane. What a day.
A quality day. That's not the team that I, of course, want to talk about because I want to talk about I only like talking about rich teams.
Great segue, buddy.
I only like talking about rich folks.
Are you saying Miami's not a rich team?
Seriously.
I mean, I'm saying they got money, but they ain't rich. They're not rich, okay? Because we know who the richest people in college football are.
Sure.
Yeah, but listen, if Jimbo Fisher is so rich, why can't his players throw more dimes?
Wow.
Oh, it feels so good. Oh, God, I've had that on my heart for 5 hours. Oh, thank you. Ooh, that's like taking your bra off at the end of the day.
For those of y'all who managed to watch the thrilling 10-7 Texas A&M triumph over Colorado in Denver, it was the altitude. Cowboys don't do well up here. Damn.
But that kind of makes sense. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick audio note. Spencer and Holly, where are your phones? Are they near your faces?
Kinda.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. just let's proceed.
Wait, I already got
just
one guy
responding to
telling
one
me either.
feedback item.
I got one guy telling me either my headphones are broken or the audio is normal.
Perfect.
So
either one. Hopefully.
we're kind of having to hold them away because remember they interfere with our audio setup when we bring them in too close. So we're kind of just splaying.
Yeah.
It's pretty erotic.
I guess my question is this. Often you'll hear about the super rich and their weirdly cheap habits. They're like, I go to the same guy to get a haircut and it costs $7 and I've never given him more than $7.25 and that was only on Christmas when his mother died. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't Jimbo's approach to offense be the same thing? Like, no, we only needed 10 points, so that's all I gave the team. They'll get more next week if they do their homework and take the trash barrels out. That's it.
Well, that's if you're the kind of rich person who's penny pinching. If you're watching all those little dimes that Jimbo has to measure out. Because remember, Jimbo's the only rich one there, right?
Sure. Jimbo's
the only rich one. Everybody in Texas has money, right?
Which is good because you can spend it doing something else.
You could spend all that money on Steve Sarkisian.
I'm sorry. Have y'all seen this video of the Florida State cheerleaders?
No, I have not. Go ahead. Put it in the chat.
Put it in.
So that people can.
Hang on. Let me see if I can figure out how.
Go ahead and put it in. We're all learning tonight. But you could spend all that money on Steve Sarkisian, or you could hire Sam Pittman for like $20. I'm pretty sure in like year one, Sam Pittman made like $20 relative to his peers.
Wait, now
right?
how do I add it?
But he racked up
days.
like any good government employee. He racked up a ton of overtime. He figured it out.
It's here, straight from the tweet itself.
Good.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could hire that guy, and guess what kind of results you would get? You'd get losing by a bucket full of points to Arkansas in year 2 when they run for 300 yards on your ass.
I think the most Texas thing about that game
it's not in my action. Jason, I'm going to send it to you. It's not in my actions.
Immediately after the game, some Texas media person was like, this is worse than any, like, not like emotionally worse, although maybe. This is statistically worse than any loss in the Tom Herman era. Tom Herman never lost the game by this many points. And I think you have to go back to Charlie Strong's last game to find, well, obviously, because that's what it would be. But I like that, like, Texas, when things go bad at Texas, it immediately turns around to, well, we should have kept Old Dad. Old Dad was nice to us. Old Dad took us to mini golf. You remember Old Dad? I think he was better than we thought he was.
But the best thing about Texas is they have so many old dads.
Yes.
They're like, oh, Charlie, this doesn't happen under Charlie. I thought you were talking about Tom.
I was talking about Mac. What are you talking about? Strong Old Dad was really cool. He was so strong, and he had a gold hat.
Never took it off. He won it at the Red River Rivalry one year. Never took that shit off.
I just want to know, which former coach are you blaming for this? That's always the thing at Texas, right? Like, how many cycles of former coach blame are we into at this point? But
that's the other thing. Like, most schools are, let's blame the old coach, or let's go, like, at Florida, if a Florida game goes wrong, you can still blame it on Will Muschamp. The statute of limitations has not expired somehow. But at Texas, it's this weird combination of, I want to blame the old coach, but also I miss the old coach. Also, I think things would be better if we had kept the old coach. It's very, like, there's a very strange emotional resonance to it that I don't really get. Like, I hate and love. It's what it is Drake. Texas is Drake. Like, every ex, it's like, I'm better without you, but I love you.
The toxic masculinity of programs. Texas. As opposed to like Florida's future is like, I've ruined my life. Mm-hmm. I'm so emotionally scarred. I'm going to be in a hole for 10 years on what I did off this, but I'm still spending it. Like that's Florida.
Yeah.
I love this game so much. I love that Texas never had a chance. I love that they were blanked for a half. They came back. They scored what was going to be like the big momentum pushing TD.
Yes.
Right? To get with 16-7. You go, oh, here they come.
16-7 after Arkansas had to settle for a couple short field goals. So you're thinking like, all right, this is where that starts to bite Arkansas. Right. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that is it. I'm watching, by the way, Florida State's cheerleaders horrified walking off the field as they lost with slack-jawed mouths open. Put this in my veins. It's beautiful.
I tried to put it in the chat. I can't figure out how. Sorry.
Oh, y'all, that is absolutely gorgeous. I also love this, that they did that. The Texas came back, Texas scored, and then immediately Arkansas breezily just blazes right back down the field and scores a TD.
Like, Arkansas didn't appear to have. At no point in the game was it like, Texas has figured Arkansas out. There were times where Arkansas failed to execute or got in its own way, or, the talent difference maybe shone through for a little bit, but at no point was it like, oh, okay, like now Arkansas has to hold on and they have to like hope that they've scored enough points. That shit did not happen.
No, this was easy. It was easy. That's the thing.
Yeah, they had enough points.
Yeah, the
entirety.
The entirety. They had. Think about it. It really should have been like at least 12 points worse.
Probably, yeah. Like Texas got a touchdown at the end that was kind of meaningless, and yeah. Also, there were a lot of sideline shots of Sark where he didn't look upset and he didn't look frustrated. He just looked very tired.
Composed.
Like, it's very much the face that I feel at the end of a long day playing pretend with my 4-year-old.
He looks like a guidance counselor on Friday Night Lights now, and it's kind of weird.
That's wow.
I have a question. How long will the SEC put up with horns down?
I don't think they'll ever stop it.
But like at some point, that will become more Texas's brand than the other thing, and what you're paying for with Texas is the brand, not the anti-brand.
I cannot imagine they'll care.
I can't imagine coming in and letting new kids fee-fees.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all, because that was the Big 12 thing. But that was the Big 12. Texas bullies the Big 12 into making rules. In the SEC, it's you, Texas, are less valuable if everyone is constantly making fun of you.
Here's how you solve it. Here's how you solve it.
Maybe they should win.
So you know how technically...
My point is it's at some point it's the SEC's problem.
No,
that
but
Texas is constantly being shat on.
You get around that because you know how Mississippi State's cowbells technically shouldn't be allowed because within all the rules they're like an illegal noisemaker or whatever, but they've kind of been grandfathered in. Just grandfather in Arkansas doing horns down. Just be like, it's an important part of their team culture, and we have to recognize it as such. Heritage. That's right.
That's all they have.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, I think it's fucking
hate.
awesome, and as long as everyone can get away with it, wonderful. And the SEC will never shut it down. Like as soon as they say you can't do it, fans are going to do it even more.
Yeah.
I just mean the stuff like official team graphics and stuff. I can very much see the SEC saying, this will cost us business dollars.
Here's the thing. If they do, they will not do it in the way the Big 12 did. They
Right.
will do it quietly at a closed-door meeting that they deny ever took place, because that's the thing they get that other conferences don't.
I guess the reason I keep thinking that there's no way it'll be a big deal is because I keep thinking of it as kind of in terms of thinking of the Gator Chomp. Like, can you imagine them ever legislating against running around the field like chomping after you beat Florida at the last second by West Byram?
No, I cannot.
Players have been flagged for that.
Brad Wing did nothing wrong.
You and I know how this is going to go, though, okay? Arkansas, it's this. They're like, that's bad blood. Arkansas made it out of the dirty well of the Southwest Conference of Texas. They got beef. We're going to preserve that beef because that's some Hatfields and McCoy shit, and we can't stand in the way of God, so we can't get in the way of that.
But then Kentucky starts throwing horns down,
Then
and you're like...
Vandy throws horns down.
Okay. I know this doesn't sound like us, but I think it's possible we're overthinking this, because do you know who wins either way? We do.
Sure.
Because either they legislate against it and we make fun of Texas until the heat death of the sun, or they don't do anything and we all get to keep doing it and Kentucky gets to throw horns down.
The thing that delighted me most in this game was nothing that happened on the field. It was, and I don't know if there was context ahead of it that I missed, and I apologize if there was. But at one point, Joe Tessitore says, referring to Arkansas fans, they hate Texas more than they like themselves. And I was like, you just said, like, that's a thing I would say, and I'm unemployable by ESPN. But you just said it, Joe Tess, and it was awesome.
I believe the thing at the end. Did you see the stadium had the
on the jumbotron
horns down?
That's I think what Jason is referring to.
Yeah,
like they
and
might
the little baby sub jumbotrons down to the side all had the.
That's what I'm saying. At some point, the conference says we can't have 5 times a year SEC stadiums doing this shit.
You're telling me that Texas A&M agreed to vote in Texas, but will then be told you cannot make custom horns down confetti, even though it's still horns up confetti.
Be told is all I'm saying. I am not saying Texas A&M will obey.
All right, rules stickler Jason Kirk. There it is.
Yeah, no, and Bama's never getting flagged for it. That's the other thing. Bama's never
God,
getting
can
flagged.
you fucking imagine?
Mm-mm. Not that Bama will ever do it, because remember, as Damian Square said, we're not going to talk, but they don't want it. That's Bama's current thing, that they don't talk because nobody's a real rival to them.
The other thing I think, Jason, is that one of the cultural differences between the Big 12 and the SEC, it's much more likely that opposing players will do horns up. Like, they're much more likely just to be like, woo, Texas, look how awesome you are. You're losing by 30. Fuck you.
That is the ultimate backfire. But yeah, to be clear, I'm not saying the SEC should. I'm saying at some point it becomes an annoying business thing.
Let's
that
just
everyone
decide
then
that Jason
rebels
has
against.
like a secret back channel to SEC headquarters that he won't tell us about.
Sources. My
Sources.
sources.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. I
Is
adore
this
it.
Coke Zero?
I adored
Did you
that game.
dose me with something?
I know that's Coke Zero. I'm pretty sure.
Ugh,
Yeah, my apologies.
it tastes weird. My
Also,
mouth tastes like metal. It must be because I've drank my own blood.
hey, shout out to Chris Driver. Shout out to Jerk Weedery.
Speaking of drinking my own blood, let's talk about Chris Driver, friend of the program, longtime friend of every single audio format this show has ever done, currently drunk as shit and walking back. Somebody says that me and Spencer are echoing. Oh, man. Hey, mute it. We're going to...
Your phones, like your both your phones are picking up both of you.
Oh, that's because we're sitting side by side.
Yeah,
Well, shit. All right. Here, try this.
that's all right.
Move your phone over here.
The hate lives forever. You can never get rid of the audio hate.
Basically, the choice we have are we live with the echo, or in the caption, Spencer and I show up as the same person. And I like this because that means I can say anything and it will be in your name.
What if we build some sort of audio outhouse that Spencer lives in?
We're receiving feedback. Holy cow, that's so much better.
Okay,
Thank
fantastic.
It sounds good now.
Okay, we will
Look
do
at
that.
Look at that.
Quality audio.
Sorry about that. And now Spencer gets to take responsibility for everything I say.
Superb. I am ready. One more thing that I absolutely love about this game are people now. KJ Jefferson, who had a great game. He did everything that he needed to do in order to win and play really good quarterback for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Someone referred to him as Cam Newton.
No, that's not what happened.
He was playing football, so that can't be.
He said there was. I listened to this part on the broadcast. There's like a Cam Newton hype video that he watches before every game. And then
It was a
From
play
back when Cam
resembled
Newton was
Cam
playing
Newton.
football.
Yeah.
He's not
play
right
resembled-
now.
Come on, man. When you're playing Texas, everyone looks like Cam Newton.
There we go.
Woohoo!
Wow. There was also like Greg McElroy said something that was like kind of a. I don't think it was a dig, but he was like, he runs like Cam Newton, where it looks like he's not trying to run very fast, but he is. And it's like, what? What does that mean? It's fine.
You know what? It's live TV, man. It's hard.
Don't make excuses.
Make excuses for everyone but Greg McElroy.
God, ESPN apologist Spencer Hall.
There we
There
go.
he is. There he is.
Oh no, I don't defend the SEC unnecessarily. By the way, Vanderbilt roaring back against Colorado State as we speak. 14-14 tied in Fort Collins. The Commodore is thousands of miles from the ocean, and yet he still draws power.
I
It
was
just
gonna say
means door.
God damn it, Ryan.
You go straight to hell.
I was about to say that Vandy is the reason for the Colorado River Basin drying up this year, and then I realized that Vanderbilt alums probably actually are the reason the Colorado River's drying up, and now I'm sad.
Damn.
Yeah. Speaking of going out sad.
Who are you going to talk about here? We got a lot of choices.
Oh, we got so many choices, but I want to talk about the one that brings me the most joy, which is Ohio State.
Oh,
quack.
boy.
Which omen of omens, like this had to go sideways because the best dam in the land was lining up to do their pregame, and the drum major came out and immediately ate shit. And I mean ate shit hard. I mean stumbled like he was at a full clip, like a full gallop, and ate shit, stumbled for like 15 feet and in front of the troops.
They look like
troops were
European
right
airport.
next to him.
Am I right that they look like European airport cops?
Yeah, they
Those
do.
are troops.
I mean, often they are troops, but
more importantly, we discovered, and you can try this at home, that if you play Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA and you start at "And I Proudly Stand Up," when you see the drum major appear, he will fall right on the cymbal crash.
That's beautiful. I'm
It
so
is
glad you guys figured that out today. This was a game, by the way, where I do not really understand in total why Ohio State played the guys that did, because there were a couple of dudes who had no clue what Oregon was doing. None. Not like they were doing anything super fancy. Joe Moorhead called a good game, but like I thought Ohio State had better defenders than this. They don't.
When you say guys who had no clue, are you referring to Ohio State's defensive coordinator?
Primarily, yeah.
Ooh.
Primarily, because you'll notice they switched out some linebackers and a couple of people in the fourth quarter.
Hey, total yardage is a bad stat, but it sure is funny. How many did he just allow at home?
Over 500.
Hmm.
Pretty sure that's bad.
Would you like a slightly less bad stat that is still? I mean, it's less bad objectively. It's very bad for Ohio State.
Oh yes, please.
How many yards per play do you think Ohio State allowed on first down?
4.
5.3.
Jesus Christ! I thought I was being mean.
Yeah, like when.
Oh no!
When Ohio State forced I wrote it down somewhere here. When they forced like a 3rd and 7 or longer, they weren't too bad. They were 2 of 7. They only gave up 2 first downs. But when they were below 7, that they had to stop, they only went. Oregon went 6 of 9.
I think there's an even better stat. That's
Sure.
a really good stat.
Yeah.
Go on.
From David Hale, late in the game. Ohio State's defense is allowing 6.2 yards per rush before contact.
There was a lot of even the passing game.
I don't even know what sport that is anymore.
Even the passing game, it was like they were just like, all right, you want 7 free yards before we cover you? And they're like, yes, we'll take that. I think here's the thing that was weirdest about this game, because I don't think it was actually as close as the final score shows you. Ohio State turned the ball over on downs 3 times. How many points did Oregon score off those turnovers on downs?
I'm going to say 13.
0.
All their points came on 99-yard drives.
Every time. That's right. Every time they stopped Ohio State on 4th down, they ended up punting. And they still won this game.
That's terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. Like, I know going 99 on somebody is insane. They followed that up with a 65-yard drive. Like it was nothing. Just real casual. Just, yeah, we can do that. In Columbus. This was the first full capacity crowd in Columbus since quarantine, since COVID hit. First full capacity. And they greet them with allowing 236 yards on the ground, 269 through the air, 269 on the ground, 236 through the air, to Anthony Brown, who I will say this, Anthony Brown, you're cool as hell, because you know what you didn't do? You didn't mess up. Didn't do anything you weren't asked to do. Nothing. Like even CJ Stroud was amazing, and CJ Stroud at the end of the game was pressing because he had to, because he knew the defense wasn't going to do anything. This was you get ball last, you win game. And he pressed. That's why he threw a pick, you know? Joel Anderson had the best comment on that. He's like, yeah, he's been looking to throw one for a while. Like, you know, like the pick was coming.
Yeah,
like he was starting to press and starting to look for guys.
He just had a hatch like a velociraptor. Push, little one, push.
Tell me how you did it, Mr. DNA.
From your blood.
Why does that feel right for Ohio State? Yeah, I know what Ohio State fans are looking for too. I know that they're looking for the plunge. They're looking for, when does this become Ryan Day's team? When is it just not Ryan Day steering the Urban Meyer mobile? And that is a terrible place to be, like psychologically, because you're just waiting for oh no, we're merely good now.
I refuse to believe this is it though.
No, this is not it. It's embarrassing. When
that
happens,
you know what it is? Instead, it's the curse of Big Nude Saturday. Because both Big Nude Saturday games have ended with just rending of clothes losses for the home teams. Wisconsin lost to Penn State in some truly like, how the fuck did you do that, Wisconsin? And Ohio State lost to Oregon. And whoever's next is probably going to lose at home too.
Who is next? Is it Nebraska, Oklahoma yet?
God, that game is real.
That game is real, and it is happening. 2 games that are real. That game is happening, and Vanderbilt, UConn. All waiting on it.
Are you coming to that?
Is it in Nashville?
Yeah, man. This is my invitation to you.
I don't
Let me
know, man.
welcome you.
Parking's really expensive, remember?
I don't know. It's a $6 ticket, but parking's $40.
I will carry you on my back.
I will go to watch that. Oh, man. Can we just show up at Godfrey's? Well, let's just all show up at Godfrey's.
Be my Hodor.
He'd be thrilled.
Be my adorable Hodor. Just you tote me into the stadium. Just like Bran, I weigh 70 pounds.
Commodore.
Yeah. That is... Did you... Yeah, this is, by the way, like, this is nothing but great for Oregon. It's absolutely awesome. I think it says a lot more about how Ohio State doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to defense right now. Like, they have issues. They don't know what they're doing. And on the list of like coordinators where you go, yeah, that guy's probably not going to be there next year, or he'll have a new special assignment. That's Kerry Combs, the guy who's the defensive coordinator for Ohio State.
He looks like some sort of rare bird.
Someone said he looks like what you would look like if your face actually stuck like that, like your parents would say, like, don't make that face or you'll stay like that.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like that all the time.
He looks like, the on Looney Tunes, the baby mobster.
He does look like baby mobster.
He looks like the baby mobster from Looney Tunes.
I think it's important to note he has sea anemone hair.
Yes, that's what it is. Without a clownfish. That's called not having the personnel
Just get
right.
him a little Nemo bow.
That's right.
Yeah, he is, by the way, peak Ohio man, because he's 52 and he's like really grumpy looking.
52?
Yeah.
You could have told me anything within a 30-year range, and I would have believed you.
Well, but he's like super
He's
ripped.
23, but he sleeps outside and makes him strong.
I like
eats cigarettes.
I love Ramsey and I love all the guys at 11warriors.com, but one thing about that site that cracked me up was I was looking at Kerry Combs stuff this afternoon when I was like, why does this man look so odd? And why is he so bad at putting in the right linebackers? And there's an article that they did, which was Kerry Combs shows Jim Harbaugh a little something about going shirtless. And there's a picture of Kerry Combs. and it's like Kerry Combs looking, admittedly, like for a 50-year-old man, looking like jacked like Jesus. He's just like all angles, like super ripped. And I was like, never trust a jacked 52-year-old man. There's something off there.
Bro, well, right? It's like the time it takes to become jacked when you're 50, whatever, is probably time better spent on your job, right?
Yeah. Also, it's really.
I promise you, he's neglecting family gatherings.
Okay, you're right.
It's against
out of the things on the list that you can cut out. You're right.
Also,
but
it's
then again, based on today's evidence, there are other things being cut out as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's against the Ohio code to not focus completely on your lift. Like, why are you? Yeah. What? Are you going to watch film while lifting? That means you're neglecting your deadlift. Come on, bro. That's wrong.
I want to mention Ohio State's schedule because I guarantee you every Buckeye fan all offseason long was like, bro, 7-0. We're cruising in. Penn State game, end of October. We're going to be Minnesota,
7-0, and then
Oregon,
we get shut down for COVID. Hell yeah.
Tulsa, Akron, Rutgers, Maryland, Indiana. Come on. We're going to be number 2. Actually, you lost to Oregon is what happened.
Y'all see what Rutgers got up to?
Yeah, don't just hey, you're going to Rutgers, buddy. All right,
this is
you're
serious.
You're staring down 3-2. Matter of fact,
if you're listening to this live or after the fact, and you know where Dino Babers is, please help, because he's not at Syracuse right now.
No, Dino's whereabouts are unknown. This is not Dino Babers football at Syracuse. That's sad. That is going out real sad. This is our 3rd team in a row. We're like, that is going out extremely sad.
It's fine. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be totally fine. Also, hey, not a conference game, bro. Just remember, Oregon's not a conference game for now.
An alliance game.
It's an alliance game.
You know, it wasn't sad, though.
Go ahead.
The thrilling conclusion to Notre Dame Toledo.
Did anyone watch it? Did anyone
No,
else see it?
absolutely not.
No.
No, I got a text from Jane Costin that said I just realized Peacock is Notre Dame OnlyFans, and I stayed away.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near that.
In no way, listen, in no way am I going to spend money at this point in my life to watch like Notre Dame like game locked footage. No. I feel like the invisible hand is pushing me away for a reason, and I respect it.
But it was to watch Notre Dame possibly lose.
They
to
didn't.
Toledo.
They didn't.
Possibly,
And therefore,
though.
the invisible hand was right.
The invisible hand was correct. Okay.
Yeah.
But were there points in your life when you would have done this?
Absolutely. I've been stupid for most of my life, Jason.
That's the spirit, brother. That's how we got here.
If it's Notre Dame OnlyFans, that means there's a weird side kink channel about oily, extremely wet men diving off of ropes, because you can also get WWE on Peacock.
Oh, it took me a minute to see
Yeah,
that's where
I
you're
was
going
like,
with the oily men
what
roping
kind of...
themselves up.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I was like, what is Notre Dame getting into?
I mean, this sounds cool, y'all, but what? Yeah, no, it's WWE. So it's like, I want to know the overlap of Notre Dame fan and WWE fan. I know like two of them. I think it might just be the two dudes I know.
It's...
I mean, but WWE, it's like fake mythology and self-folklore and like, telling us, using sports to construct a story, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's Notre Dame football.
Question. Is Notre Dame as a fan group more likely to be, when they signed up for Peacock this morning, immediately set an alarm for cancel the minute the free trial is up? Or are they more likely to be every year say, God damn it, because they missed the sign up hitting them again?
The latter, unquestionably.
Yeah, especially the older ones. Like,
Yeah.
well,
you-
darn it.
I mean, you said Notre Dame fans.
If they were good with money, they wouldn't have gone there or sent their kids there.
Why didn't we create some sort of fraudulent Peacock site where we could just harvest their credit card numbers?
Nobody steal
Notre
that. Trademark. Trademark.
Hey,
Ryan's a lawyer.
that elder
So-
crime is trademarked, and you
Notre
cannot
Dame
steal
Toledo
it.
game on the TV.com.
P-Cork.
Please.
We call
Just
it
gonna-
P-Cork.
Just gonna send out a bunch of phishing requests. Hello, you have been offered a free year of Peacork to
The
view.
warning pops up and Notre Dame fans are like, I love fishing.
Subscribe to pcork.biz for the country, for your freedom
The my
Love
fa-
peas.
and peas.
Among the many wonderful things about Peacock is apparently it has quite a range of delays on the broadcast. The longest delay I saw people citing was a full 2 minutes between the stadium and Peacock.
God.
Like,
Oh, God.
like stadium to TV is often like 30 seconds, but this was like I forget exactly what it was, but someone was posting about a kick was good, and the person in the stadium and the person watching streaming, they were talking about two different kicks from two different drives. That's how far apart they were. This was very good broadcast all around. The other thing I really liked is everyone who watched. So like you watch an NBC Notre Dame game. These happen. There's one or two or three of them, whatever, per year. And
Doug
you tune it in,
Flutie
it's
is
like,
there for some reason.
it's like I'm watching state media, right? Like everything is like super homery for
Sure.
Notre Dame, and like you feel like you're watching a documentary about the game that's happening as aired, as created by the Kremlin. But like apparently this went even harder on that. Like apparently this was like, Irish fans, we know what you want, right? You want all the pomp that says you're very special. We're ramping it up to 100 here.
So Peacock is like mods are asleep NBC.
Yeah.
Mods are asleep.
Yeah.
Post Rudy.
Mods are asleep. Run Ron Powell's tape. Run Ron Powell's tape.
Mods are asleep. We actually won a few of those Fiesta Bowls.
Show Tommy Reese tape. Show Tommy Reese tape. I love this game for one reason, and that's because Jack Cohn had to go to the sideline, get his dislocated finger put back in by the trainers, and then immediately went out and threw a game-winning touchdown against Toledo.
Once you get it back in, it really doesn't. I'm not trying to do a bit. Once you get it back in, it really stops hurting as much.
You don't do.
I mean, it's going to hurt a shit ton the next day.
You
Yeah.
don't do biology bits. Everything you say about skeletal anatomy, straight honesty.
I've
That's
had
what
this
you're
happen
famous
to my
for.
knee in the middle of a show, which is always fun.
And then you threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she threw a touchdown against Toledo.
No, I'm just saying it was way better for him to have done that than to have attempted to throw it with the finger out. Like, it hurts way more when it's out.
So,
Can I ask a forbidden question?
Yeah.
So given what Notre Dame has done in its first 2 games of the year, and given that they have Purdue on the schedule,
Oh, this is a forbidden question.
is this going to be a repeat of like Notre Dame bullshits its way into the playoff with a bunch of like close wins, and we all have to pretend like they're much better than they are?
I saw Notre Dame fans actively calling for this. Like, I hope we rank below Nebraska in SP Plus and we're in the playoff. Also, I just want to point out Jacksonville State, which uncorked a Hail Mary to take down the Knowles. They partied so hard their account has been banned for DMCAA strikes on Twitter.
Sorry, I only answer to the Digital Mary Copyright Act.
y'all are too fired up about this. You got to
Jacksonville State's going to wake up and they'll be like, "Oh fuck, the school's not accredited anymore." Jesus, what are we doing?
Worth it.
did you send that shit in? That paper? Damn. This is Notre Dame. Notre Dame did come back to beat Toledo. I just want to go back to the part where the 2 teams they've beaten so far have been barely beating Toledo and barely beating Florida State, who just lost to Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
I would also just like to shout out Toledo here, much in the same way that we shouted out East Carolina a couple weeks ago. Among the group of 5 teams, if you ever have a chance to go to a Toledo home game, please do. Their stadium is called the Glass Bowl, which is always a good time, and their fans are mean as hell, and I mean that in the best way. They are so much fun.
Notre Dame's next 3 games are Purdue, Wisconsin, and Cincinnati.
Oh God.
God, are they just like, hey, we'll play any game in an abandoned factory? Any game in an abandoned factory, we'll play all of them.
Catholics versus Corn Belt.
These games are on
Corn
Hulu,
Bits.
Quibi, and
Go 90.
Twitter Spaces.
Go 90.
Right here, hosted by the Shutdown Fullcast.
What was the like original Periscope? We're just showing the game on Periscope,
Which we've apparently learned is still around. There's just like no, like you have to like know the hacks and.
We wanted to put the show on here, but we're afraid for, I think, good historical reasons that if we started doing the show on Periscope, Twitter would shut down Periscope
instantly. Right? It would be 5 minutes into the show, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're not providing support for that anymore."
I want to repeat the invitation from our trailer, though. If you want to Periscope Hawaii football games and include your feet in them, please send us those feeds.
Yeah, we will 100% do that because we've watched them all. Shouts out to the guy who broadcast the entire Army-Oklahoma game.
With his foot in the frame.
And people go and show us your feet.
That way it's not a copyright violation because your feet belong to you.
Jackson,
that's artistic license, not artistic license.
Fair
what
use.
is it?
Fair use.
Yes, fair use.
Use. It's called foot use.
Yeah, sole rights holder.
It's educational purposes. Nice job. Good job. That was a good lawyer in Spencer.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, by the way, is up.
Oh,
Suck
God,
it.
here we go.
Suck it, universe.
Christ.
All that goodwill earned with that pun.
I can feel the electricity
Squandering
in
it.
Nashville right now. I can feel it. The city is coming alive.
This was
People
a really
are
good
taking to the
Saturday.
pedal taps.
He's coming like the Panera Breads are just lighting up all over Nashville.
This was a really good Saturday. Texas and Notre Dame and Ohio State lost, and here we are talking about Vanderbilt.
USC is losing 21-10 to Stanford at the half.
Okay,
A
things
Stan-
are
I'm also
looking back up.
Perking, because USC, no matter what happens in the rest of the game, did have a towering achievement of football greatness in this game by having their kicker kicked out for targeting on the first kickoff of the game. Clear targeting. The clip is him going crown of the helmet first into sideways into the helmet of the returner, and he got booted from the game. His name is Parker Lewis.
Bullshit.
And he did lose.
I'm sorry. Can we return to Florida State for a moment? We have some
Sure.
breaking news.
It's a good idea.
Spencer, would you like to read this quote from Mike Norvell at the end of the game?
Yes, this quote from Mike Norvell regarding their extremely fresh loss to Jacksonville State. Ran a 2-deep man under, tried to get pressure on the quarterback. They still had one timeout, so we didn't go to immediate prevent.
They had 6 seconds left.
Okay, 6 seconds, Mike Norvell. It's a beautiful call. There was a cable screen. Somebody sent me a screenshot of their cable guide for games, and it said Florida State versus Jacksonville State, and it said 2 Florida powers square off.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you belong to Duval now. Congratulations. You're the Sub-Jags. Sub-Jags.
But at least you'll have plenty of restaurants with smoking sections.
It's true. 2 places in America where people still smoke. Jacksonville and everywhere in Tallahassee.
No, where they smoke inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better inside.
She gets into the
Go on.
pores.
Brian, you're from a family of doctors. Go on.
That's how you get the vitamins in. We have not discussed.
Vitamin menthol.
There was another.
My doctor said I had to eat more vegetables, and cigarettes are made from plants. What is the problem here?
I like it.
Oh man.
There was another faded
I bet tobacco's a Cracker Barrel vegetable.
great of the 1980s that suffered some unnecessary drama on the way to a victory this Saturday. That would be the Miami Hurricanes. The Miami Hurricanes eked out a victory
Told
against
you.
Appalachian State.
Told you. I said they wouldn't lose. The rest of the season, TBD, but
That's the Bama effect. You're like, nah, Bama effect's bullshit. They beat App State by 2 points. But
count it. Win's a win.
I say it all the time, so I really can't fight you here. Yeah, a win is indeed a win, and Miami has now entered the W column and managed to do it in thrilling fashion that I'm sure no Canes fan has any problems with whatsoever. They don't want to fire Manny Diaz right now for reasons I cannot explain.
They always want to fire everyone.
The best part is Manny Diaz tries to put a brave face on at the end and be like, hey, I think we fought back and whatever. It's just typical coach speak, and it just makes Miami fans so much angrier.
You're like, oh, good job. You guys beat App State. No, it wasn't. We should be beating them by 30.
We didn't hire you to be positive, you asshole.
Yeah, so would Canes fans like it if they had a coach who talked like their former players on Twitter, right?
Yes.
Fuck this bullshit.
Yes.
Right? All that.
Yeah. Or just
Well, they're
blame,
gonna get
or
lane. So.
blame the refs. That would be fine too.
That's good too. Okay, yeah.
But the good news is, years from now, nobody will remember any play that happened on the field because they're
Right.
just going to be talking about the cat.
The American heroes in the crowd who used an American flag that they had because it's 9/11
Sure.
to catch a cat that thing was up there.
Did the cat fall or was the cat pushed?
The cat was clinging to a wire by
No, I know,
two...
but how did it get into that situation?
I don't think we have footage of how it
Was
wound
this
up
an
on the wire.
assassination attempt gone wrong?
It was
By the cat?
Cat got in
I would
bad.
accept either, given the setting, I would give her either the cat is a material witness and was targeted for elimination, or
Sure.
the cat was sent in to assassinate someone itself.
Cat
And,
got in
dove
bad.
too far.
Cat got
These
in
feel
bad
about
debt.
equally plausible.
That's right. Yep.
Cat fraud. If listen, if cat fraud were going to occur anywhere, the Dade Broward County area is a great
Cat
place
fraud's
to
a
start.
graduate level course at
Yeah.
Miami Law.
It's a really good school.
The ESPN summary of the game that mentions this part is somehow a cat got in. And listen, ESPN.
Somehow.
The one rule of Florida is that it's never a surprise when any animal shows up where they're not supposed to be. It's just a Mad Lib. Pick a building, pick an animal, and it's probably happened in Florida before.
Even the AP recap, the stayed just the facts,
Sure.
all business, emotion-free AP recap begins with, a cat survived a scare. So did the Miami Hurricanes.
No.
An emu turned up in a crematorium has probably happened in Florida. Cocoa Beach, to be specific.
Yeah, the AP recap is it says, let's get through the game stuff. But the catch that some in the crowd won't forget anytime soon. They covered it the same way we did, right?
Yeah.
Where it's there's a game. Let's get to the good stuff.
I did like that they use the old-timey firefighter technique, which is wild to think it's that's how we used to get people out. Jump into this trampoline.
So before the video was posted, I thought that the cat was scrambling somewhere and they had used the flag to wrap it up. I didn't realize that they had caught the cat parachute style.
Yeah. And then, because it's the University of Miami, rather than just be yay, cat's here, let's let it down. the dude who gets the cat.
Tried to hold it up like fucking Simba. Like, put that
Yes,
cat
like
down.
like he's Rafiki, and it's
Yeah.
The cat, to its immense credit, began attacking anyone it could reach.
They're holding the cat
Instantly.
up like it's a retiring coach's last game.
yes. The cat is definitely more popular than Manny Diaz.
No,
Right
where
now.
were this last week so we could have held it up and said, like, that's Bobby. That was Bobby right there.
Oh, that's the Ghost of Bobby. Ghost of Bobby pushed that cat.
There's one guy who's about 5 seats away when it happens who does this massive double fist like, yeah!
Yes,
And
yeah.
in my head, I know I can hear him say, he's like, bro, we saved the raccoon! We did it!
Look, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna hurt.
Sick lizard, man. I didn't know they had fur.
I'm gonna apologize to Michael Ryan Ruiz for this. Can you think of a more successful moment in Miami Hurricanes history in the last 10 years?
No.
That's the best moment in Hard Rock history.
Wait, how long ago was like Ja'Cory Harris's fashion shoot?
I think that's over 10 years ago.
It's
at this
right around.
point.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind.
It's
Yeah.
hitting the expiration pretty soon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you
This
think
is-
Ja'Cory Harris was the cat?
No.
Do you think, like the Louisville dog, he can transform himself?
Yes, yes, but
Maybe.
not in this case.
Okay.
I'll also point out,
Look,
they didn't catch.
He had Patrick Nix as his OC.
Yeah.
The guy
Sure.
might have had to develop powers to survive that situation.
I'll point out, by the way, they didn't catch it. They did. Break
No,
its
it
fall.
bounced. That
It
shit bounced. Which is also what I suspect happened to lots of old-timey
A bounce
firefighters.
is really
Yeah.
all a cat needs.
Per user in the Discord, Ja'Cory Harris was 2009. So, yes.
Yeah.
We're right.
I
We're
love that we
right
have
there.
live fact-checking now.
Good. Thank you.
This is beautiful.
Great.
Yeah, this is a luxury I am unaccustomed to. Thank you, live audience. Yeah, this is the best moment in the history of their time at Hard Rock for sure.
And y'all should be happy about that.
Take it.
Take
It's
the compliment.
it's a W.
You know where nobody
Absolutely
would have
take it.
been surprised to see a cat? The Orange Bowl. You'd probably
Thank
be like,
you.
"Oh yeah, that's Davey. He's one of 15. He runs a concession stand here. It's great."
Yeah,
He's a contractor. Keeps this place spackled together, mostly.
Salt of the earth.
a random blade somewhere deep in Hialeah took his life one night. Lonely, sad cat. Oh
He
God,
used
Okay,
to
you
be a
made it
cop.
weird.
that is. I know you. What animal wouldn't have been?
In the Orange
Welcomed.
Bowl,
Yeah, in the Orange
manatee
Bowl.
would have been
Emu.
beaten to death.
Oh yeah, immediately.
What, for being lazy?
Yes, boo.
Okay.
Just for being
you remember?
an easy target?
You remember those Marines in San Diego with the koi?
Yeah, with the
Imagine
koi.
them exposed to a live manatee.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Jonesy, I'm gonna fuck this man. Except no,
Hold
they
me
would
back, bro. Hold me back.
They would think it's a fish. They would just think it's a fish.
Yo, this
Oh, that
fish.
fish is huge.
Body shame the fish.
I think this fish is having an allergic reaction. Bro,
No,
look.
Oh look, this fish is like look, it's like my girl fish.
No, he's just bulking. It's just bulking season. That's all.
Yeah,
he's gonna lean that
he's
out.
Macaulay Hulkin.
hey, fish, you in a cut with us, bro? After this, I think you're big enough.
So
Yeah.
at the very end, the manatee's been unconscious for hours. One guy throws an arm around. He's like, you're all right.
I gotta tell you,
We're gonna
if
get you back in the river or wherever.
if I came across,
Good evening to all our new listeners from South Florida.
I gotta
Five
tell you,
metal work.
if I came across a Miami Dolphins jersey that replaced the dolphin with a manatee, but otherwise, I would buy it immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Immediately. And I would pretend like nothing was wrong, which is actually a very key part of being a Miami fan.
It's a very key part of being a Dolphins fan. What does it do? Nothing. It's just kind of there. It's like, it's a 500 animal.
It's a real 6 and 10 kind of animal. 6 and 11 now, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Get it right.
Don't short us.
The shortest loss we need it for draft position.
I did have somebody corrected me on that. I was like, oh, the Falcons are going to go 3-13. And they're like 3-14, bro. And they were
Yeah.
dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I've heard that so many times. Like, yeah, everyone wants to make sure you tack on that extra Falcons loss. Don't.
How
Noted,
is Stephen
noted.
Hartzell?
It's fine. Did you watch any of Michigan Washington? Because I had it on.
I tried.
And I
Watched a
tried.
lot. I watched a lot.
tried.
Watched
Yeah,
a
it was
lot.
on.
Yeah, you do look pale.
Oh, I'm not healthy. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
Did anything happen?
How was it?
Did anything happen? It
So
did
what-
not look like anything happened in that game.
So we're gonna play a game that
Hell yes.
Okay, Bane.
that you listen. That part is later, okay? That you kind of have a preview of already, but it's fine. It's not going to matter. Let me pull it up real quick here. The Washington, Michigan box score. Here it is. Okay. So, in this game, Michigan just ran the ball all goddamn night. And they did some like aggressive things. They went for a fake punt on 4th and 1 to keep a drive alive right after Washington had punted on 4th and 1, which was very funny to me personally. So in this game, they ran for 343 yards, 4 touchdowns on 56 carries. Do you think that translated to, let's call them opportunities in the passing game?
I'm going to guess yes, that has to. You have to be able to throw at least a play action off that.
7 of 15 for 44 yards. That's the passing line.
That leads me to my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's not fun, and I posed it in the pre-show, and I posed it last year, but it hasn't been answered yet, and now I have to look at Joe Milton.
Let me add one more thing to that real quick.
Okay.
Of the 44 yards, 33 of them came on one catch. So if you take that away, it's 6 of 14 for 11 yards. Go ahead.
Okay, this is not a rhetorical question. It
Okay.
wasn't a rhetorical question last year. I'm genuinely curious. I had the same questions about Shea Patterson. What is Michigan doing in the way of coaching quarterbacks, and why do they keep looking like this? I mean this. What are they doing during the week? Because there are, and this is not even really so much about the kids, there are grown-ass men, lots of them, who are paid many millions of dollars to put them in position to succeed, and that's supposed to kind of be their thing. And time after time after time after time, we're left looking at this shit. What are they doing? Sorry for the sports question.
I really don't have a good answer here because.
But this is, I'm really just throwing this out to the ether because it continues to baffle me. And I made a joke about it earlier, but we've got Joe Milton down at Tennessee now, and I'm like, he's not lacking for arm strength, but he's rapidly joining that grand tradition of Tennessee quarterbacks who are either going to break a receiver's wrist with a throw, or they're going to throw a flaming smoking crater through a fan in the front row of the stands.
Our good friend.
What are they doing?
Our good friend Ace is listening. I can tell. So Ace, please tweet at us the answer, since we can't, because of our setup, we can't just put you on the show right now. Ple's tweet us the answer to what the hell is going on.
Guys,
Please
we're trying to
post.
figure out how to put people on the show, but we can't do it.
Joe Milton's feet, or Joe Milton's footwork, whatever Michigan was doing to it is so messed up that if you watch Joe Milton throw for Tennessee, he's flat-footed now.
Yeah.
He just throws like they just told him, hey, stand there and throw the ball.
But at the
Don't move.
At the same time, Hendon Hooker came in and overthrew somebody on like a horizontal pass, like a leak pass. He threw it like 8 feet over his head.
He at least looks like he's got some. I know I'm saying this back to back with that, but he appears to have more touch than Joe Milton, and it stands out for us because, as I groused about last year, Tennessee is a program that has had, and I'm sorry for bringing the SEC East into this, but Tennessee has had more bad fifth-year quarterbacks in the pre-transfer portal era than any program I can really remember in my lifetime. And Michigan kind of looks like they're on the same streak, but Tennessee doesn't even have a long string of offensive gurus in its recent history who might have made headway with that. I'm not doing this to, there are plenty of things I could say to Jim Harbaugh on purpose to be mean to him, but I'm just confused at this point.
So my only guess, and this is purely speculative, is that it is a case of Jim Harbaugh does not build his offense around the talent and the talent set of his quarterback in a given year. Like, he has his system that he wants to run, and when you have Andrew fucking Luck, it works really well. But it turns out most quarterbacks aren't Andrew Luck, and you keep trying to do square peg round hole. And I suspect
these are quarterbacks that he is selecting.
I mean, yeah, and it's not like
at this point,
McNamara is a 4-star. He's not.
No, it's not that McNamara is not talented or wasn't or was, a reach or something like that. But I think there is a difference between I'm evaluating you on tape and in the recruiting process, and I bring you in and start to teach you I don't know if there's enough adjustment going on to say, okay, this is the part that's clicking for you. This is the part that's not. We're going to do more of the first and less of the second.
Yeah, my question is ultimately one of teaching. Like, what
Right.
are you teaching them? Because and how at this point are you not evaluating your process? I'm really sorry for thinking seriously about Michigan football. It's just that I've been running it around in my head about my own school for like 5 years.
Sure.
Maybe what if we propose listeners send us theories and then we review them?
Would love that.
Terrific. Yeah, we will do that in our midweek show, which will happen in our usual feed over wherever you get your less reputable podcasts.
I want to pause for station identification because I don't remember if we said at the top that this production is partly the fault of Meadowlark Media, but hey, let's go ahead and mention that now.
I didn't want to drag them into it. It felt rude.
I'm glad that we mentioned
It was the excitement of Jacksonville State.
Sure.
That tends to sideswipe things. But if you're listening to this live, if you only caught part of this, whatever the case may be, this will be posted as an actual episode. Hand waving somewhere. That much we are mostly confident in.
Watch the skies.
And our midweek episode, like normal.
Watch the
That'll
ground.
probably be out on Wednesday.
Y'all are making a lot of promises here. A lot of promises.
I said probably Wednesday, which
a midweek episode. I think we can deliver that much.
Okay, all right, there it is.
Okay, wow.
There's the jinx.
Listen to this guy.
Oh man, thank you, Timmy Boy, TC Internets, for bringing up Cocaine Cat Boy. Cannot believe we did not get there on our own.
Damn.
He also raises the hypothesis the cat may have escaped on a speedboat.
A tiny one?
Yeah,
It's adorable.
No, full size.
What if, let's take this
Like
another
Stuart
step.
Little.
What if the cat entered the stadium in a tiny cocaine helicopter?
I like where your head's at.
Should we discuss El Asico?
Speaking of,
Man, I guess.
speaking of,
the
what
three
was
of you are
anyone
all
doing?
Let's let Spencer and Jason
Okay.
have reign for a minute because they have taken a lot of abuse over the years from fans angry that they call it that. Boys,
First of all, El Asico's named that because every team amounts to a whole bunch of ass in this game. All right. And I will say this completely lived up to the billing, and I am right, both in front of the eyes of the universe and any and all gods and goddesses who may wish to judge me. I was right, and I will not repent because this year's edition was as glorious as ever in its mundanity and its complete lack of any serious events or competence, of ambition, because every team loses ambition completely in this game in the face of such immense futility. That's why Iowa does so well in it, especially recently, because Iowa gave up hope about innovation, creativity, or doing anything new. I am sure that there is some kind of halcyon past where Kirk Ferentz with long hair is strumming a guitar on a glorious campus sometime in the 70s and going, man, we're going to change the world. And then an embittered 50-year-old Kirk Ferentz decades later is like, run outside zone and punt because life broke him. And then he took this rivalry and crafted it in his own visage, that of a pragmatic, practical, cynical, and extremely effective 8-4 football coach. That's what this rivalry is.
First of all, I was going undefeated, so that part is wrong. Go ahead.
second of all,
Yeah.
We have a correspondent on the scene at Colorado State, a VU fan in Texas, who wants to let us know that they have had a 78-yard and an 81-yard punt in that game. One for each
Fuck.
team.
I want to note the El Asico explainer that Spencer and Ryan wrote is linked in the opening paragraph of the Iowa State rivalry Wikipedia page. It is officially canon.
Yeah,
El Asico
Wow.
is the name of the game,
it's on Wikipedia. It has to be right.
and I feel like everyone has just accepted it at this point. I didn't see anyone complaining about it.
Well, they can't now.
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
on the Wikipedia. What do you want us to do?
Spencer, your feelings are valid. I want to say that first and foremost. I think you could be looking at this game the wrong way because you are focused on what Iowa State means to you and offers you. And it has nothing to do with that because instead I want you to imagine this scenario where you go to all Iowa State fans. You assemble them somewhere in a room and you say, okay, here's what I will tell you will happen against Iowa, a team you have not beat in 7 years now?
Yeah.
6, but
Right, because they didn't play last year. You're right. Although the year still happened.
yeah, you were right. You were right. The way you said it was right.
We're both. Let's agree that we're both right. We're being positive here. All right. So this is what you would tell them. Number one, you're going to have 10 more first downs than Iowa. Number two, you are going to gain almost double the total offensive yardage that Iowa will. You will hold Iowa below 2 yards a carry, and Iowa will have more penalties in this game than you do. And what do you think the reaction of Iowa State fans would be?
See, you're assuming that they're normal and that they aren't familiar with the circumstances and universal rules of El Assico. I think if you told them all of those things, they'd be like, we'd lose by 14 at least. Because they'd know. They'd go, no. The boomerang's coming. You're throwing it out there. It's going to hit me in the back of the head.
That's, I think, the magic of El Assico, is that it is a, reverse alchemy where Iowa takes gold and turns it back into iron and then throws the iron at Iowa State.
Yeah. It's it has the
and
same
Kirk
dynamic
Ferentz has
as
the Philosopher's Stone.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
the dynamic of this rivalry. It's basically boring bedlam.
Yes.
Where
yes.
Oklahoma will always beat Oklahoma State. The score will either be 60-10 or 60-59.
Right.
Whereas this, the score could be 5-4, or it could be 30-4. It's bedlam divided by 2 could probably be a good rule of thumb.
I'm sorry. I thought this was perfectly delightful for what it, recognizing that it's never going to make sense. It's never going to be the kind of game that you, Spencer Hall, are going to be like, that was a fun game to watch. It will never be that. So if it can't be that, at least it should be emotionally damaging.
It was far from the worst.
That's true.
Oh no, there
was a
worse.
13-3 recently that was like a black hole for the mind. Like, this was a normal football game.
Yeah.
Except for the stats Ryan just rattled off.
Right.
Wombats, their defense
Is this an ad read?
their defense against predators is very sinister. They have an enormous ass and they dig big burrows. What they'll do is they will lure predators into the burrow, scuttle out of the burrow, and then block the entry with its ass, so that the predator suffocates and dies due to lack of oxygen, because the wombat's enormous, tough ass blocks every bit of air from getting in. That is Iowa football. That's like peak Iowa football.
And they're not. Go look at the schedule and find me another game before the Big Ten championship that they'll lose.
Oh, I pick one at random. That's how it's going to happen.
That's true.
No, just pick one at random. This isn't my first rodeo.
It's not Kent State. It's not Colorado State. Maryland, maybe. Penn State, maybe. Okay.
Oh, it's Maryland.
Sure.
Or an excruciating Penn State game.
Somewhere
like a Penn
in this
State game uglier
stretch,
than the Wisconsin game.
Maryland, Penn State, Purdue. One of those.
Thank you to the multiple people tweeting turnover chainsaw at us in all caps. The Oregon State turnover chain is back.
How about an 11-0 Iowa and a 1-10 Nebraska meeting on Black Friday? And that is when it all falls apart for the Hawkeyes.
Scott Frosty, welcome.
And that's it. That saves Scott Frost's job.
No,
Congratulations.
No,
Excuse me,
Nebraska won today.
2-9
That's right.
Nebraska.
That's right.
It was a successful Scott Frost day. They took care of Buffalo.
They did.
They covered and everything.
I'm beginning to be concerned about my playoff picks from a few weeks ago.
You're fine. Hold steady. Stay
Although
your guns.
my Golden Hurricane did play themselves back into the conversation today.
You're doing great.
They looked really good today.
Quality loss to Oklahoma State.
I think, Holly, actually, next week for Tulsa and Ohio State, we have a playoff eliminator, I would say. If this is Tulsa's last chance to get back in, I think.
You know what? I like their shot.
Did you see that Nebraska won 28-3, a score nobody comes back from?
God,
that's rock solid.
Just unnecessary. Were there any other games y'all wanted to hit?
Just a little note that Florida doesn't have a quarterback controversy because
Why are we?
don't.
Oh my God, they played USF, man.
USF's real bad.
All you
And-
need to
Very
know about Florida is that Nick Saban is pissed off because he gave up 14 points to Mercer. He's so mad. He's invoking his daddy's West Virginia wisdom. So take Bama
Well, who
minus
does
whatever.
Bama play in week 3?
Well, that'd be the Gators. So
Oh, cool.
if you see Alabama minus 10, hammer it. Whatever the number is, take it.
Florida did have 666 yards of offense, though, and that rules.
That's
on,
pretty good.
on 69 plays.
Yeah.
I have 2 things
Really?
I would like.
Wow. On 9/11.
It's the most internet game ever.
God.
Sorry, Holly, what were you going to say?
I was just going to pose this very good question from a longtime listener, Reese Wallace, who asks for our consideration. Will this be the closest game Clemson plays this year against an in-state opponent?
The score of today was 49-3 against South Carolina State.
So yeah,
It's
probably.
a good question.
South Carolina tried so hard to lose today.
Yeah, I like that directional Carolina games are fun now.
And then Texas A&M
Joining
tried
directional
so
Michigan.
hard to lose today. And we just have to, technically they count as wins. That's what's very cruel about this sport is the taxonomy got real lazy, and instead of being like there are many types of fruits and they have different benefits and whatever, we're just like food poison. That's it. The world only has food and poison.
This video game put no effort into coding and programming the supplies. They're just
Yeah.
like box of food. You
Health.
found health.
Health.
Well, yeah, there's not
Health
even
and
consumption.
bomb.
Wait, this can't be right. This says Stanford just got a pick 6.
Yeah.
Stanford
What?
is
I'm surprised
Yeah.
they didn't stop to punt along the way. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't even
Stanford
know-
28, USC 13.
I didn't think they practiced that at Stanford.
also
It involves running a long way.
Colorado State driving in the fourth quarter, trying to tie things up with
Oh,
my
Is it-
hometown Vanderbilt. No, I'm
is
not
the
going to say
SEC a scam?
that. Yeah,
Probably.
I know. Listen, I'm sure that the rock rib defense of the Vanderbilt Commodores will shut the door on Colorado State, keeping those unruly Rams at bay.
Also BYU. Good gracious.
Oh, how's the Holy War going?
What the frick has gotten into y'all? It's 23-7.
yeah. End of the third quarter.
The Big 12 versus the Pac-12. They're both in power conferences. Utah got there first, by the way. But BYU is in there now as well. And holy heckin' gosh.
Utah.
That's
what-
okay. Utah's built to come from behind, though.
Y'all
So-
are gonna hit the milkshake bars tonight. I just kidding. They close at 10.
the quick strike offense of the Utes.
You don't want that on your tummy.
No, you don't want that. Yeah, God, no, I know that we've been doing this too long because I'm like, Provo closes at 10, and I'm like, what am I doing outside at 10?
I want to rewrite BYU's injury report so that they sound like BYU fans, right? Like, yeah, he's got a torn tummy muscle.
Freckles. He's out with freckles.
Yeah, he's got freckles. Oh, he's feeling poorly.
Wait, this just says ginger.
Yeah. This is, by the way, if USC loses to Stanford, Stanford lost bad to Kansas
K-State, yes. K-State, who barely
And
beat
K-State,
Southern Illinois today?
Yeah.
But this is already not the thing we're going to remember about this USC game, I would argue, even if they do lose.
No,
Also,
no.
USC, the backup kicker, holding his own.
He's made at least one field goal, right?
2 for 2 on field goals and made the extra point.
Okay.
So-
Why do we have a backup kicker again?
Yeah, because again, kicked out and ejected for targeting on the first play of the game.
Because
This
the
was for
starting
Parker!
kicker liked football a little too much.
We have been waiting for a spiritual successor to Brad Wing for so long, and I think we might finally have a worthy
What
heir.
if they just can't contain him? Like every week, he just can't.
Like
it's
he
the
has two
fucking
switches, like he
like-
has sleep and on.
USC's kicker is the water boy.
Yeah, we
Get
found him. This is Bill Barnwell said this is why you can't let kickers wear numbers in the 40s.
Oh fuck! It's gonna turn out to be Will Ferrell or something, isn't it?
That's why. I have a couple of other things I want to share. Funniest line of the day to me is this: Stetson Bennett
Oh, God.
dropping bombs.
Welcome back to Bennett Stetson.
He was 10 for 12
Yeah.
for UGA for 288 yards and 5 TDs.
This was quite a callback because, I think everyone thought he graduated 3 years ago, and then you look up, what's happening? What's happening to the UAB Blazers? It's Stetson Bennett's what's happening.
Oh, Stetson Bennett is taking classes in tennis and sweaters. That's whatever you can
He
do.
might be a professor.
He does have
Yeah.
a very, like, 50s singing cowboy name. Hello, everyone. I'm Stetson Bennett. I
seem
shot
like
a
pretty
man.
Yeah, you seem like a pretty
I shot
senorita.
a dragon.
Oh, I have a guitar. I'll sing you the song about the time I shot a dragon in Birmingham.
UAB, their turnover totem. Did we all see this?
Yes.
The dragon
Dragon
skull?
skull? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find this one confusing because it's your
'Cause they've
own
beheaded
mascot
themselves?
dead. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you've got no problem with LSU yelling tiger bait.
No, I do have a problem with that too, actually.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well,
Ryan
because
demands intellectual consistency.
Florida does the same thing with gator bait, and I'm like, why are you trying to catch a gator? That doesn't
Just
make
feed it.
sense.
Just feed it.
Sure, gator food is fine.
Well, why would a Floridian or a Louisianan plan 2 steps ahead?
Yeah,
Fair
that's
point.
That's good.
Unless it
Seafood,
involves-
acquire it.
Open
I
flag,
was-
catch cat. The
Can I
end.
can I drop in a high school football
Cat.
report?
yeah,
High school
please.
football. Let's go.
Because my father has informed me that my alma mater has a kicker that is 5'9" and 230 pounds as a junior.
Hell yeah.
Powerful.
Man's
Where should he
again-
go to? Where should he go to school?
SMU. Who's the school that has like the 8-foot kicker? Is it- There's somebody in FBS that has like a super tall kicker. I feel like it's SMU.
I don't know.
Hang on.
I truly do not know.
6'8" kicker.
yeah, giant. Are you just like Googling big ass kicker?
Big kicker.
ass
Big
kicker.
ass
Giant
kicker.
kicker.
Oh, it's trying to sell me speakers now.
Are you a bass
Brendan
freak?
Hall, SMU's kicker, is 6'8".
Good Christ!
And
That's
they
a
had
tr-
in practice he belts 75 yarders.
I
But
hope
like
he-
you can't do that because it'd be like, a line drive, easy to block or whatever. But like,
Right.
yeah, 232-pound. Apparently, this dude, they saw him at some camp or whatever when they were freshmen or whatever, and SMU got in on him early, and then he just had this massive growth spurt, and he's like, I guess I'll just keep kicking.
Ass, that is. He's a trebuchet. My God.
Oh shit! Did y'all notice Mercer scored in the third quarter? No wonder Nick's mad.
I
Yeah,
was
The
infuriated.
temerity.
We're dead.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
Florida's
super dead.
gonna pay.
It's gonna pay.
You know who didn't score in the third quarter? Arizona. They're still losing by 24 to San Diego
I love the
State.
Arizona update.
This is why people listen. They want to know what's going on with Wildcat football.
They scored in the fourth though.
Technically, every time Arizona plays, Speed is on.
Oh shit! Is Speed on?
No. I wish it were. I'd much rather watch Speed than Arizona football.
You know what I'm probably gonna watch right after this show? I'm probably gonna watch the last play of Jacksonville State, Florida State.
How many times?
Yeah, mind your business.
I'm not shaming.
20?
What-
I don't know.
However many it takes.
I'm gonna start an OnlyFans just for that clip. I
No,
do.
no,
Only-
nope, can't do it.
No.
Can't get there.
Only
Tried it.
Jack's State.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacksonville State's the Gamecocks. I feel like you can work with that one there.
So they have
Oh.
Jack and Cox in the name? All
That's
right,
what I'm
cool.
saying.
Great.
Superb.
They really planted their flag. That's so great.
They made a no hole.
There's 2 things that happened today that I'm gonna laugh about like randomly over the next week. One is that Ashton Kutcher showed up and Iowa State fans were chanting "Take a shower" to him because Ashton Kutcher had been in the press talking about how he and his lady were dirty, barely bathed their kids.
Ryan, you know how your wife says it costs you nothing to be quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, several celebrities have been doing this lately. I don't know
Yeah,
why,
it's been a
but
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, I don't really shower. And first of all, that makes us look bad.
For a real good time, look up the healthcare startup that Ashton Kutcher is involved with that he convinced the governor of Iowa to contract with for COVID testing.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can look it up.
Yeah. Second,
I'm just asking questions.
yeah. Second, he showed up and everybody immediately was like, "Dirty man, dirty man, dirty man." I mean, you think that's like funny, haha, because you're like, "Aha, I'm rich."
Sure.
And then after a couple of minutes, people are still chanting "dirty man" at you.
Yeah.
You're not wearing that. That's
I
not
mean,
good.
How are you going to go to Ames, Iowa and not shower? Not try out the clean.
Listen,
That's
their
right.
water is,
Ames.
that had to be especially offensive to Ames residents
Yeah,
with their water being what it is.
They're just like, Ashton, we can take care of you here in Ames. So Jacksonville State, the team that lost to Florida State, or excuse me, the team
How
that beat
dare
Florida
you?
State.
How?
We regret
our
the
beloved
error.
Jack State Gamecocks, who have claimed Tallahassee as their own. Do we recall their week 1 result, by the way? Because this gets funnier.
No.
No.
I do not.
They lost to UAB
Okay.
31-0. 31-0.
Fuck.
So you're telling me Georgia already has a transitive.
So Georgia's like roughly 70 points better than Florida State.
Georgia's in second place in the ACC, which actually sounds about right.
And
All of that is probably
and,
unironically
and
true.
67 points better than Notre Dame.
That's probably
That
also
also
true.
sounds fine.
Yeah, no, this all works for me.
I actually said Georgia's in the second place in the ACC, legitimately forgetting that they beat Clemson.
I have 2 updates for you. One, Vanderbilt shut down that little Colorado
Oh,
State
here we go.
drive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
Oh,
That's right.
shut it down like it's a small business.
And Utah has begun roaring back with their quick strike offense. It was 23-7. It is now 23-10 with 11 minutes to go. So if they kick a field goal, every 90 seconds from here on out, they're going to be good.
This is like watching Steven Seagal now, where it's like, oh, just zoom way out. Please, way. Film this from far away.
Where they have a love scene and they have to like lower him in with a crane.
Get the lighting really low and
Yeah.
just like change the angles and let's just move on.
Just let her be on top. Let her be on top. The crane. It's not working.
This has to be the end now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
That's
does.
what Steven Seagal hopes.
Night, y'all.
Perfect. Now to figure out how to close this thing.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all. Good night.
End space.